Thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of The Wave Talk. We are back with season 2, episode 7, and we have a very special guest for you. Last time I didn't like the way I did it, so I'm not even gonna tell y'all until you see who it is, just like I usually do. But before I jump into my topics, I wanna navigate over to my audience really quickly, like we always do, and ask you, how was y'all's week so far? I know it's just such and such day, but how's y'all's week been so far? Pretty good. Yeah, the rain isn't stopping anybody, slowing anybody down. It's been, yesterday I slept in, like, for a long time. The rain was just, yeah. The rain makes me very sleepy, but it's still been productive. I've still been getting a lot done. So, I'm cool with that. Hopefully tomorrow, though, it is done. The only thing I don't like about it is that my dog, like, her feet get so fucking dirty, and I'm constantly cleaning my floor. Constantly, and she's a big dog too, so it's like you gotta let her dry off, and then the whole house, I'm like, what? It's a whole. What kind of doggy? Oh, okay, it's cute. I wish my dog, she'll fuck around and roll around in the mud type stupid stuff. I don't know. Anybody else out there got a cane corso? That's a little bit slow. Yeah, she's real big. She's strong too. I need to tell y'all a story about my dog. Why in the hell did we get attacked by 2 bulldogs? And she didn't do nothing. She said, they say cane corsos are supposed to be super aggressive. Watch out for cane corsos. She should have protected herself. No. I don't feel like she got it in her, to be honest. I was just so embarrassed. I was scared that she was about to attack these 2 little dogs and they was going to take me to jail. Whole time I looked down, it's her getting bit in the arm and that dog is like on her. And I'm fighting, I'm punching. Yes, I'm punching the dog. I'm telling these kids to get their dog. And by the time they get the dog off of her, she's got like this big ass gash. It was bad. I had to take her to like the ER and stuff. And they was trying to give her stitches. It was like $500. I said, I can't do this, Lord, all because she didn't want to fight back. I let it heal on its own, but that was a very stressful situation. They say even old dogs can learn tricks, so I might still get her trained because she's like 6 now. We can't ever let that happen again. That was that was so embarrassing. I don't know. Anybody else got a weak ass dog that's big as hell? Literally all bark, no bite. Anyways, we'll go ahead and go into our topics. You know, Valentine's Day is coming up. Anybody out there celebrating Valentine's Day? That's nice. That's very sweet. Well, if you are, I've got 4 cute things that you can do, and if you aren't, I have 4 other cute things that you can do. So if you are celebrating, you can recreate your first date with your partner. How precious. Yeah, recreate do you remember your first date? Yeah. Yeah. That's so precious. Oh. Yeah. I like to hear that. Y'all hear that? That's our producer. That's our videographer in the back. He said that's a good tip for you dudes out there. So try that. Up next, we've got take a surprise vacay. You really can't, but men don't be setting up surprises like that.
I've seen it done.
On social media.
No, I don't think social media. No.
I don't think it's necessarily always done for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I'm saying
Maybe like a birthday or something.
Exactly.
Okay.
Valentine's Day ain't that serious.
We'll give you leeway.
I mean, you just gotta do that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna take you a quick surprise vacay.
You really got it.
Okay, any big ballers out there? I'm just kidding. The next one is take a paint day. Y'all like to sip and paint? I like those activities. Really? That's so sweet. I'm not jealous. I don't care. And And the last one is highlight what you love about your partner. I feel like words of affirmation is literally like everybody's love language in some form. Like people like to know how you still feel about them, you know? So big up your partner out there. Let them know why you fuck with them. It's important. They need to hear it sometimes. Now, if you're single, these are some cool things that you can do by yourself. You can eat at your favorite restaurant. That's always fun. I'll probably be at Waffle House. That's my favorite restaurant. They should make like a heart-shaped waffle. That would be super cute. Don't take my ideas to the marketing team. The next one is you can visit your favorite bar. If you're gonna visit your favorite bar, you're probably looking to go home with somebody, I think. Like you single on Valentine's Day, you at a bar. They better be. What is you doing at the bar? Unless you're waiting on your partner, what are you doing? You never know, niggas be scheming. Just kidding. The third one is you can do something nice for someone else. That's always sweet. You can ask a friend if they need some help around the house or anything like that. Yeah, you can babysit for somebody else who got plans. Yeah. And the last one, it's really for peace of mind, is to avoid social media. That is something very nice that you can do for yourself. I feel like some people take that shit to heart, that they don't have anything to do on Valentine's Day. And it's a man-made holiday anyway. It ain't even that deep. And if you one of them people, get off social media. Please don't sulk and ruin it for everybody else. Get off social media. Comparison is the thief of joy or something like that. Do that 365, limit your social media activity. That should help. Up next, speaking of couples, I wanted to talk about Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons. That song, Down in the DMs, came out 2016, 7 years ago. He literally manifested. Do y'all think y'all could wait 7 years for somebody to fuck with you?
You know what he did?
Or
He did. That made it worse for them niggas that be hitting bitches up with no response. You know what? Hey.
right, if Yo Gotti can wait,
Listen, I ain't too swinging enough.
right, I gotta go harder.
They did have something back in the day too, didn't they?
I don't recall.
I thought they took a shot at it back then. Just like call it a foot.
I don't know. I thought it was something cute for social media. He might not have. He might have just threw it out there and she eventually came back around. Or maybe he ain't been focused about his love life and that he was like, when it come to me, it come to me. I don't know. I know I could wait 7 years, but I'm still waiting for, I'll still wait. It really is. You never know what's coming around the corner. You gotta stay down and stay dedicated. He didn't even care that she got pregnant by somebody else. He didn't even care. What? I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has. Shout out to you, Angela. Get what you want, girl. I support it all. Shout out to Yo Gotti for getting what you want. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Yo Gotti. He's got a really successful record label right now. CMG is really doing good. Memphis is it right now. So shout out to y'all. Our third and final topic for today, are the Grammys still a big deal? I feel like less and less people are submitting their music. And I was looking at the response from Beyonce not getting Album of the Year, and they gave it to Harry Styles. Who's voting? Who's deciding this? I feel like if they're going to do Grammys, it needs to be like the People's Choice Awards. Like everybody needs to vote on awards across the board. Let the people decide, because
They got a specific committee that votes.
the Grammy committee sucks ass. Beyonce should have won that. Yeah, she did win the other three. Thank you, cool. However, they don't ever give her the big one. That's like snubbing Angela Bassett for the Oscar.
People don't like to keep going back to the same person. Like that, niggas need a certain amount of money. Everybody gonna shop somebody else.
Is that true? We don't like consistent clients? What do you mean?
They don't want to give to one person the same money.
I hate to hear that. That mentality sucks. But
That's how they do it. It's like in the NBA, people don't want to give one person the MVP all the time. It's like,
Yeah.
They want to give it to somebody else.
But maybe other people do deserve it at that time. I just feel like Beyonce be just
clearly better than every fucking body.
right.
Like how you feel like about Beyonce. I'm sure her album was, to you was clearly better than Harry Styles.
They ain't ever gave it to her though, and that's crazy. They give her the other one, like I said. Yeah, this is true. That's why they picked Macklemore over Kendrick Lamar. We'll never get over that one. We'll never get over that. That's why Drake don't even submit to the Grammys no more. He pulled out. The Weeknd did. Nicki Minaj did. I don't think that I would submit myself. Nas. I know Snoop Dogg hasn't. He said he had 20 nominations and he ain't never got one. Like, that's impossible. Snoop, not one. Yeah. I don't think I would submit my music for the Grammys. I think, but that's just me internally, because like, damn, what if I don't get it? That's what Jay Prince was trying to get people to do. He was trying to start a whole coalition of people to not fuck with the Grammys. And hopefully it turns into something, because y'all need to be focused more on the BET Awards, even though it's owned by a white corporation and owned by a white corporation. And, you know, just celebrate or go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. So, the conclusion, Grammys are not a big deal. However, I would like to be invited because I want to see the live performances. So, if you're out there, yeah, if you're out there, I would still like an invite. Don't hold this against me. So, yeah, those are our topics for episode 7. Up next, we're about to bring on our guest. Stay tuned to find out who it is. Everybody claps. Thank you so much for joining us for the Wave Talk.
For sure.
Welcome back, guys. We've got Ronnie. He is here to discuss a few things that he's working on. First, before we get too deep into it, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Now, you said, well, it's kind of vague. I like to ask people, like, a little bit, are you feeling content? Are you, like, anxious? Are you motivated? How are you really feeling?
I'm motivated. I'm thankful. I'm blessed more than anything. I'm looking forward to everything that's to come, so I'm just kind of soaking up everything and just, you know, just taking it one day at a time.
I love that. What's motivating you right now?
I mean, I'm always kind of motivated by my daughters. I got 2 daughters, so
Oh, precious.
that's like, I mean, the common motivator, but other than that, really just, I mean, I'm self-motivated too, you know, and just seeing like the progress, you know, kind of like where we started, you know, like where we going, you know, nowhere near there, but when you can see progress, it kind of keeps you motivated, you know.
That's a huge fact. Progress is the main motivator for me, especially like in the gym. When you see some actual results,
That's
you
right.
see that progress, it makes you want to keep going.
Right. And
Yes.
it's like, you know, don't get lost in the progress, you know, like some people see that progress and think it's enough. But, you
That's
know, I
good.
think,
That's a
like,
good one too.
Yeah, no, you gotta keep going.
I'm one of them. I'm like, shit, I'm skinny enough, and then I'll just stop. Like, no, you still don't have your abs, so keep going.
Yeah, nah, keep going, because you're almost there.
Yes, we're almost there. Now, I wanted to ask you, because I see that you're wearing Pressure Made, and is that your training business?
Yeah, so yeah, it started out as just kind of like a household name for my fitness business, and I never was really into like apparel. I mean, I'm not really still now, but I would have like clients that would like want to kind of like represent like where they were training at. So like the actual fitness side of it is Pressure Made Gym, GEM, like a gemstone.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, and then like so like the first wave I dropped like PMG gear, and it was just all like just regular like in more of like a sporty style. And then I got to where I'm like, I kind of want like something to wear around, to where, you know, if I wanted to go somewhere, I wanted and represent my brand, I just wanted to put on something, you know. So I had went with this font, more like a luxury style font. And instead of putting the gem on there, I just went with Pressure Made, so it's kind of like Pressure Made clothing, or Pressure Made apparel.
It's really nice marketing. People don't understand whenever it comes to having a brand, it's very important to market yourself.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like for me, I just went and bought everything and did it in-house. Like cut out the middleman, because I would always like want like gear like fresh like right then and there. And you know, calling somebody to put in an order, I just didn't have patience for that.
Being on somebody else's time.
Yeah. So my daughter's mom, I told her, I'm like, hey, if you want to learn this stuff, I'll go get it, you know. And that's kind of how we started. And it actually, like I say, for her, it's been a success for her too, because she started her own t-shirt company off of it.
See, look at that.
Yeah.
Something starting off in-house and turn into a whole other venture.
Right. So that's kind of, like I say, everything is kind of done in-house. So sorry for everybody out there who waiting on gear, but I mean, we backed up right now. I got a lot of stuff
It's in high
going on.
demand.
Yeah,
What can you do?
So,
that's a good problem.
Yeah. It's like I say, here soon, you know, we'll have like a mass production set up some type of way. But right now, I'm not really focused on like apparel or anything like that. It's just kind of like, if I want to get something, I'll go get some fresh gear, and I'll just, you know, have it fresh off the press. And and I may think about a few people while I'm there, like, hey man, such and such asked me, and then like, but right now there's no set like, how can I order that? Like, I was into that for a little bit, but that's not really my lane. So it's like, for me, I gotta focus on what works for me and circle back around to that whenever, you know, I get to where I can really have somebody just run it thoroughly like I want it ran. Until then, but just, I'll rep it and, you know, we'll keep going.
That's important for you to recognize when something is not in your lane, because a lot of times you'll see people get burnt out trying to do something like just switch gears or let somebody else take care of it. It can still be a thing, or maybe just come back to it later.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's really important. And how long have you been training in fitness?
So I started January of 2020.
Okay.
like
That's pandemic.
I say, it was like my first like LLC, you know, like I wanted, like everybody, we like, man, we want to run our own business type of deal. So I went and did like the LLC part, and for me, I was just, all of it was a learning curve, like even learning about the EIN and the tax information and all that stuff. It was just, I was a sole, person running my business, so all the paperwork and stuff I had to be in charge of. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, the first few years is all about investments and paperwork. Like, you don't really see the return on it, you know, but it's just staying down. And for me, what helped me thrive was the pandemic. Like, I started out training kids outdoors, and I would just do it when I came home from school, like on Christmas break or summer break, when I was in school for football. And after I graduated, I'm like, maybe I can get into training. Well, I coached in 2018 at Millwood City High School, and then moved over, was going to make a transition to Choctaw High School, and I just that was 2019, and I was like, man, I want to be able to reach more kids without as big of like a commitment to an institution, because it was just a time constraint. Like, I had a lot going on, and I just couldn't be confined to one area for X amount of hours every day. And that's when I kind of was like, okay, well, I'll just start training kids, you know. That's kind of like a private thing on the side, generate a little income and see where it goes from there. And I was thinking of a name, and we came up with Pressure Made Gym, and that's just, it stuck. And I just like the PMG, like it all kind of ran together, and here we are now, you know, 3 years later.
That's good.
A lot of the training that I do now is contract-based, so.
That's what the real money is.
Yeah. So we have like schools like reach out and may just want their, you know, athletics trained or put in, you know, certain programs to where it's just speed and agility training, because that's practically what I do. So, girls, boys, volleyball, baseball, basketball,
wow.
you know.
That's good.
The training kind of correlates to each sport. So,
Mhm.
of course, I kind of tailor it and dissect it to a way where it's really, really beneficial to that individual or whatever it is. But, yeah, speed and agility, I mean, we all kind of can use that as far as sports. So,
Right.
yeah, the pandemic, everything closed down, and a lot of kids were in the house.
Yep.
So I had parents that were reaching out,
Parents
like, man,
like,
can
please.
we, yeah, can we bring out our kids? And they quickly seen, like, after a few sessions that it wasn't just like a play around thing, like we're actually out there building something. And
That's
I
important.
think that's what they like the most about it. And like I tell anybody, like, consistency is key, and honesty too. You know what I mean? Like,
Ooh.
as a
Speak on
small
that
business,
honesty,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
As a small business, we run into stuff that, you know, we may not be prepared for, and it's
Right.
like, I feel like your clients will respect you a lot more if you just honest with them. Like, we all human, you know, life happens, and like it would be times like, 'cause I got a daughter, my oldest, I got two daughters. My oldest one, she plays sports, and sometimes my training sessions would conflict with what she had going on. So it was just like, I mean, I would have to put some of it off, and of course I would compensate.
Yeah.
You know, I may do like half off or free or, you know, something like that. I would always try to compensate, but for the most part, man, just being honest, you know, a lot of people respected that more than anything.
That's key. A lot of people don't do that. They'd rather, I'm not going to say avoid the truth, but a lot of people don't like having those tough conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I like how you said, like, people honestly respect you a lot more whenever you keep it a buck.
That's right.
Like what? Let's keep it a buck.
All the time.
So you mentioned that you did go to school for football at Kansas, right?
Yeah. I went to the University of Kansas. Well, I went to a junior college out of high school, but I was a qualifier, so I didn't necessarily have to graduate from there.
Okay.
I went to NEO up in Miami, Northeastern Oklahoma, A&M College. I played 2 seasons there. I was there for 3 semesters practically, and I transferred December of my sophomore year after my 2nd season there. I finished as like a junior college All-American, and I had committed to Utah State, and it was just a little too far for me, but I mean,
far.
who's to say it could have been a better move for me, you know, but I wanted to be closer to my family.
Understood.
And the reason why I did 2 seasons, because I was practically kind of waiting on like OU or OSU to pull the trigger so I can stay home.
Right.
But, you know, it's just it's a portal. And
It is a portal.
Kansas, you know, they offered me, and I'm like, well, they 4.5 hours away. Like, my family can drive there. We don't have to worry about plane tickets.
That's doable.
They ain't really as I don't really come from a super wealthy family, so in my
Right.
mind, I'm like, Utah, I'm 17 hours away. I might see them once or twice, you know, a semester. And I was just like, I always wanted to be like somewhere where my family could reach me, or me reach them. And the University of Kansas, it worked out great for me. I enjoyed everything. I was there, played for 2 seasons, and graduated 2016.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
What'd you get
cool.
your degree in?
I got a bachelor's in communication studies.
Okay.
Yeah, and like a minor in film, so it was
You
crazy.
plan to use that? The
I
minor
mean,
film?
not really, but it's
Okay.
crazy how I just kind of like fell in like certain film areas, but I only really took the film courses because I was kind of like a guinea pig for the university or for the football program, because these courses, they had just opened them up to like athletics, and they were kind of like questioning it because it was off campus too, at like a film like type of deal.
That's cool.
But I knew, like, I was like, if it's easier courses, and I'll do it, like, you know. And for me, it wasn't necessarily easier because it involved like acting and script writing and stuff like that. But I mean, a lot of it was group work, and it was all females. I was like one of the only males in the classes, so.
But that paid off though, considering consider what you're into now.
And I say like females are the best teachers, because like my classmates, like, I mean, even though they made it kind of easy for me, but I learned a lot, you know, like as far as what I was there for when it came to acting, whether it was, you know what I mean, dialogue or, or just being on the screen. So shout out to all my little classmates to help me out at University of Kansas for, the little minor. But yeah, it was cool. It served a purpose. And
And you can honestly say the skills that not the skills that you got from football because you probably already had them, but a lot of that still correlates even to with the training.
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of, like I say, what I train is what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of it. And I mean, as far as research I've done too, because I don't necessarily have like a major in like sports medicine, kinesiology, or anything like that, or even a personal trainer certificate. Like my resume is what speaks for me, like what I've done sport-wise. So I still do like the book work on it. Like I'll go research, things that help my athletes, whether it be, explosive drills or drills tailored more so to the sport, to enhance the athlete. So, yes, it's still, like I say, a learning curve, everything. So,
you can tell that you're really invested to it as well, because if you're willing to go out and do the research and, trying to tailor things to your clients, it shows that you're really passionate. In the previous episode, we were talking about how some people are like motivated by the money or they just trying to get money out of it, but
yeah,
that ain't always.
I feel like for me, like the money will come. You know what I mean? If you put out good work, the money gonna come. And for me, it was just like I didn't want to be like putting out something that wasn't real. You know, so if I teach it, you can almost go research it, and if the research is wrong, then it's my fault for believing it, but I done did the research on it. So I
done tried to do my part and try to educate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Now, off camera, we were talking, and you stated that you had moved here from California.
Yeah. Well, my family is a lot of my family is based out of here. I mean, I got family on the coast too, but that's kind of like where me and my dad, I was practically raised, like, like when you can start to remember life, like it was out there,
Okay.
And we stayed in Moreno Valley, then we stayed in the Bay, Bakersfield, and it was kind of like, SoCal, NorCal. I got to kind of be a part of both in a way, and we came back here to Oklahoma, like I say, and I moved in with my mom, and that was it was a transition. Cause she wasn't really used to, what I was kind of taught with my dad, I guess. But like I said, it takes a village. It all worked out. They both play like a major role in my upbringing.
Extremely important.
Yeah. So
and that's a blessing too.
No, for sure. It's a blessing to still have them both like actively in my life. So
present day.
Yeah. Definitely. And like I say, one of my goals is, like I say, as long as they're around, is to try to pay them back or to make life easier for them. So it's like, if it's going out to inquiring more finances and bringing in more revenue to help with whatever they got going on, or just let them go enjoy themselves a little bit. Like I'm in it for that too, for sure.
That's so sweet. I love a child, well, not a child, but when children have that type of dynamic or relationship with their parents, because a lot of people do not have that relationship with their parents, and it can be a strain. Definitely. Noticing or witnessing how they parented you, what have you learned in return whenever it comes to your daughters?
Well, I mean, I learned discipline, but I also learned how to kind of be like gentle too, like I was kind of like a rebel kind of growing up, so I was always like the one that would kind of go the extra mile, and I would get away with a lot too, so it's like for me, it was like I know, that the kids like have that aspect to them, and for me it's just more so like not being like a super like gorilla stern figure to them, but more so like transparent, like, and I got daughters, so and I'm glad I had daughters first, because I was always like I was brought up like on aggression. So it's like for me, like having daughters just kind of taught me how to kind of like mold myself into like something like a little more gentle. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's the biggest thing. Is like so now, you know what I mean. I'm ready for a son, God. You know, I'm gonna be gentle to him, but you know, tough love is like what I was brought up on. So
You ready to display that side of it?
I ain't, you know, yeah, in a way, but a little different. Like it won't be, you know, as brutal, but it'll definitely be useful. You know.
Okay, so like your girls, they can pretty much get whatever they want to. Are you like one of them type daddies? Like
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, they get
as you should
whatever
be.
they want. Yeah.
As you should be. I'm a huge daddy's girl.
Yeah.
My daddy ain't never told me no.
Yeah.
Never.
So, yeah, and like you say, and I feel like as a dad, and like for me, that's more so like more than half the reason why I'm so motivated because like. I mean, my daughters, she'll tell, like, all her friends, like, oh, don't worry about it, my dad got it. You know, like, and in her mind, it's because, like, she ain't ever really had to go without her. I ain't never really told her no,
Right.
so just the simple stuff, we could be somewhere at a basketball game, and she'll get something from the concession stand, and her teammates may want something, and, you know, whether their parents is there or not, like, if she, like, yeah, my daddy got it, I'm signed up for it, you know, and I'm like, oh, don't worry about it, I got
Right,
it. You know,
now you got to.
No, I'm like, nah. So in my mind, like, I mean, we go to the grocery store, she want toys, and, I mean, of course, you know, it's a limit, because some of it, I mean, you don't, for me, like, I don't necessarily just want to, like, portray like that, give, whatever you want, you know, more so, like, a rewarding, like she does great, you know, she's a great big sister. She's a wonderful daughter. She does great in school.
Right, those types of things should be rewarded. She
Yeah,
deserves everything she gets.
So I make sure, like, I try to reiterate, like, okay, if we doing this is because, you know, you got all E's right now. You know, practically all A's, you doing excellent right now. Or it'll be, you did great, you know, helping out with your sister here and there. Like, I always try to, like reiterate that, hey, like, if you do good, like, you get good. And when you put out good will come back to you. So it's just kind of like character building, too.
That's important because she'll take that with any of the other relationships that she has, whether it's romantic or even with, like, platonic situations. You know what I'm saying? Children who are brought up that way definitely navigate through life a little bit differently, and that's definitely a blessing in itself.
That's right.
So I think that's really cool. Now, before we switch gears into our second half, I like to ask my guests a few questions, like, are you smarter than a fifth grader? So I have a few trivia questions for you, if that's okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right, cool. So the first question, now you got to really, I don't know, we'll see. The question is, which geometrical shape has no vertices?
A oval.
I'll give it to you. It's a sphere.
Okay.
I'll give it to you. That was pretty good.
Yeah, a sphere, you know, you can round it off into an oval, you can round it off into a sphere, you know.
Yeah, that's why I was like.
I had the.
You had the circular motion. That's almost one and the same.
Yeah.
We'll let you have it.
For sure.
Okay. Let's see. Now some of these are old. I mean, some of these are like too easy. Hold on. Because last time, whenever we had them, they was like, I don't know. And even the guests couldn't, even the audience couldn't help. Okay. Can you name the 3 articles in the English language? 3 articles in the English language.
3 articles in the English language. And I could be wrong, and I could be taking this the wrong. I could be taking this out of context, and I'm gonna just answer the question with the first thing that came to mind.
What is
I think it was a verb, a noun, and a pronoun.
Okay, you're not. I mean, you want to know the answer?
Yeah.
A, and the.
Okay.
Yeah, those are articles. I wouldn't have got that right either, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got that.
I was thinking too in depth. I went all the way like 5th grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade.
Okay. All right, I got one more. What would you call the main character in a story?
The star of the story.
Yeah, but what's like another word for that?
We'll call him the main attraction.
Another word for it? Audience, do you know?
What you got out there, audience?
I want to say protagonist.
You're right. It's the
Okay.
protagonist.
Okay, you're right.
It's the protagonist. You did good. You got 2 out of 3. I gotta start having some prizes for my people.
Bet.
Yeah. Now, just to switch back into it, and I'm gonna let you go just after a few more questions. You were recently featured in a film, Riding Legacy.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a little bit. How did that come about?
Man, first off, like shout out to the producers that put it together. They, I mean, I had to be a part of something like that, like, and the way they did it, it was almost kind of like next to, I don't know, it was something that you would go, like for me, when I went and watched it, I felt like I was literally going to actually like watch like a Netflix documentary or something. It put me in a different like area. So that the film itself though, man, I've known 2 other producers for maybe about 3 years, 4 years. One of them, he's been coming out to my property. His Instagram tag is Video Hero TV.
Yep.
Jay Riz, shout out to him. He's been coming out to my property for about 3 years, just kind of getting familiar with, you know what I mean, the country or the horse aspect or the, you know, just that outdoorsman life, or, you know, what I do out there in a way.
Basically, right.
He was, you know, of course raised in Spencer, so he was accustomed to horses and, you know, that lifestyle, but never really from like a behind the camera angle. And 2020, I was on a circuit where I rode 4-wheelers too. So like a lot of it, he would just come out and just get kind of raw footage of just, I mean, we may have like guys come out on the 4-wheelers. We may have guys come out on the horses. We may have practice, may have a rodeo. He just kind of like started coming out.
That's neat.
And then, like I told him, like we would always kind of joke, like, man, one day, like, man, we need to like do something big, like make this like a neat deal. And it was another documentary that started to formulate, and we practically, the Keon, shout out to Keon Taylor, he had, me and him was having a conversation about it because I'm a part of that one too. And he was just explaining to me like how, you know what I mean, they would be perfect, you know, to do a documentary as well because they're actually here with us.
Right.
You know, this other documentary,
It's
it was
the
more
best.
so kind of like a broader, like more mainstream business that, you know, just kind of may have heard and kind of wanted to kind of just put it out there because, you know, their network is who it is. But I ain't gonna mention them because they off topic. Riding Legacy is the one that matters right now. You know what I mean? We gonna represent these, you know, our locals. We're gonna support our locals. Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so stand up.
Yeah, he was just telling me like, man, how, like, bro, like we can really be here with y'all and get, you know, more intuitive and in depth with, you know, our own documentary and document like the real, like day to day, like the what y'all like, you know, the raw footage, you know, like what's really going on. And fast forward to like 2022, April, like Video Hero, and I'm calling them by their Instagram tags,
so,
you know.
So y'all can follow them.
Yeah. Make sure y'all follow them, you know. And I want to bring awareness to these social media platforms as well because, I mean, they post, this is what, you know, they'll post about the Ronnie Legacy. They'll post about, they got other projects similar to what's going on that, you know what I mean, y'all need to tune into. So listen to these Instagram tags, listen to the names. And
we'll make sure we post them too for y'all as well.
Yeah, perfect. But he and Ja'Kian Parks and Nicole Jacqueline, they would come out and basically just kind of get just like raw footage of us at practice, you know, or whatever we were doing, and not really had a direction at the time, and they all meshed together. Keon, Jockling, Parks, and Video Hero James. They all kind of came together, you know, as far as, you know, wanting to formulate something a little more structured. And that's sort of like when the documentary came about. Jaquan, he also had a separate project going on, which was the rodeo record, which we did that. Shout out to him, that was pretty dope too. He brought a lot of awareness to us, but you know, we're now talking about the Ride and Legacy film, and you know, they came out and they started, you know, actually like getting footage that they used in the film in like April of 2022.
Wow.
And
That's a lot of footage.
I never really like knew how quick or like if they would even like make anything out of it. So I was kind of like blown away when they told me that they were actually doing a documentary about it. And I was even more blown away when they told me where the release will be, because I mean, I think of myself as like a, you know, artifact one day or something. And the National Cowboy Hall of Fame Museum is a place that, you know, I kind of grew up around that area, and I'm like, I've never been there. And
Really?
I had just told myself, like,
crazy.
man, I'm old enough, I'm able to go, like, I'm gonna go. And they like, man, they told me it was having release. I'm like, wow. It was like a 2-for-1 special for me. I'm like,
that's real special.
yeah, it was, and then for it to be like Black History Month, 2023, like just for me to see like a project that they had probably worked 8 months on, you know, at the most, come together and be so like, man, this project is phenomenal. Like, it makes you kind of reach for words that can match, you know, the level of what I received it in. And just as far as the casting and everything like that, everybody that was a part of it, we're all, you know, it's kind of like intertwined. We all know each other. So we all kind of like blown away, you know, that somebody is finally kind of shedding light on the black rodeo culture here.
Which is huge in Oklahoma, for y'all who didn't know.
We also have the most black talents here, I come to find out. So it's just like stuff like that kind of helped me, you know what I mean, learn a little more about what we have here in Oklahoma, the history, as well as seeing myself like on the screen in like a different light. It was just like it was a great feeling, you know, because we all got people that look up to us in different ways. So for me to just kind of be like that model, you know, or somebody, you know, I look at it as like, if I can do it, you know, the next person can do it. You know, we all, you know, it's not about kind of where you come from. It's more so like what you're gonna do to get where you're trying to go, you know.
Exactly.
And it was just, that was something major. And I think it was also like, also a reminder that, you know, I'm on the right track, you know, like, so like for them to do that, it helped out a lot of people, like mentally, you know. It was a good like motivator to kick the year off, you know.
That's for sure.
This year, you know, God willingly, it'll be a busy year, you know, a prosperous year.
Absolutely.
So just little stuff like that is like, man, it was monumental, you know, for more reasons than one. It was also historic. Nothing like that has been done before here at that museum, you know, so shout out to them. And they also captured history as well, because, you know, I myself, Tori Johnson, Donnell Tipton, I mean, you name like the people that was featured in it, Kendra Demery, the people that you seen on screen, like it's kids that you seen in on that documentary that'll probably excel in football.
Right.
You know, maybe NFL players one day, maybe professional, you know, rodeo riders one day, or maybe softball. Like it's actually like kids that are featured in that film that are also like outstanding athletes in school, or just outstanding kids where they may be, you know. So just to see like all those people being kind of captured, it was like, man, it kind of motivated me even more to try to reach more people and continue doing what I'm doing as well.
Now, I am curious, when did you get into the rodeo scene? Like, when did you start?
So I started actually maybe at like the age of 12, like is when I kind of like became fond of horses. My uncle, I went to the Martin Luther King parade here. It was my first time ever going to the Martin Luther King parade here. And I seen my uncle riding a horse in the parade, and he seen me. He like, man, come get on the horse. I'm like, I don't know nothing about a horse. He said, man, get on the horse. He was pontying the horse with him, and I got on the horse. And the next day, like, I had another a great uncle. He passed away, Carl Buckner, rest in peace. But he took me to get my first pair of boots. I found some freaking big bull riding spares. I didn't know what to get. And I got a black felt, and I still riding a black felt today. So like, if you see me out there, to be a black cowboy hat. Like that's kind of like how I came in the game. I don't ride in the same boots though. Like I can't. I had some pointy toed, crimson looking boots, and now I ride in square toes. You know, for sure. So
yeah, that switched over.
But yeah, and my first rodeo that I actually participated in, I was like the youngest in the event. Which was Pony Express. I was like 14 at the time, running with adults. You know, they used to have it like sections where it was juniors and it was adults. And I was one of the youngest kids that was riding up with adults. And I started there at like 14, and I mean, so about like 16 years in, you know, on just riding, you know, as far as being 12, about 16, 17 years in now.
And that's crazy, because whole time now you're a sponsored athlete with Wrangler, right?
Yeah.
I saw you got invited out to PBR as well.
Yeah.
That shit's big.
It's just crazy.
That's real big.
Yeah, I had like, if you stick to the script, you know, and you got like a mission within, like if this guy's playing, like, you know, he'll have ways of, you know, kind of keeping you guided and reminded. And for me, I rodeoed when I was in high school, but I also played football, and that's what I went to college for. So I kind of had to step away from the scene for a little bit. In 2017, I was like, I hit it hard, and I felt like, okay, I'm for sure want to do rodeoing. And I even told, I had an interview back in college, and I told him, like, if I don't go pro for football, I'm going to go pro for rodeo.
And did.
Yeah, so, you know, that was for me. 2017 was like that breakout year to kind of get back going, and everything has been, you know, uphill from there. So,
would you like for your girls to follow in your footsteps, for them to get into the rodeo scene?
Yeah,
that's my last question.
I would like for, you know, them to, if that's something that they're interested in, you know, I never force it on them. I mean, they both enjoy like going out to their horses and, you know, knowing that they have horses. But I'm so like competitive that I look at it like, if it's not, their heart isn't in it, then we're not gonna do it. Like, we won't waste time. You know, I got horses. They have horses, so they can ride whenever. You know.
Exactly.
But if you're not, you know, planning on being a full-on participant and giving everything you got to the sport, then we're not gonna mess with it.
All right, that makes sense. Well, let everybody know how they can get more information about the documentary, Riding Legacy.
Okay.
How they can find it and where to find you as well.
Okay, so Facebook, follow the Riding Legacy film on there. Instagram, it's the same tag, at the Riding Legacy film. I'm also on Instagram at RD2. And it's 3 I's, like 3, like Roman numerals, I. And it's also kind of like a native term that we use, like I. You know, you'll hear it one day, but so yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand. But my name is Ronnie Davis. Facebook, Ronnie L. Davis. You know, follow that. You know, keep up with what we got going on. And it's a lot of good things in store for this year. For everybody in that documentary. Everybody that's a part of that documentary, and not only because of the documentary, but we all like actively have stuff going on. So, you know, follow that documentary to also, you know, follow the rest of the cast members and, you know, kind of keep up with what we got going on if you're interested.
Awesome. Hopefully we can maybe go out to one of the rodeo events and we can do an interview out there. I think that'd be real cool to see you in your element.
No, definitely.
Because Pony Express is super fucking excited if y'all have never seen it. So
everybody need to see it. Like I said,
I'm ready
the push
for rodeo
is to get
season.
it mainstream, you know, pick it up on the pro circuit, and get it like to where the TVs can air it, because we want the world to see it, you know. Shout out to Wrangler for getting behind me and shedding light on the sport, and recognizing what we do, and letting me tell my story, you know. We forever locked in. You know, I got them in my back pocket if I ever need them, and they got me if I need them.
What a connection to have.
They need me.
Right, exactly. Well, I want to thank you again for stopping by the Wave Talk. I really enjoyed our conversation. I know we got to get you going, so we're not going to hold you up too much longer. Everybody stay tuned. We will be back with our closing segment. Thank you guys so much. I want to give a huge thank you to our guest today, Mr. Ronnie Davis, for coming through and talking with us about his his documentary that he's featured in, Riding Legacy. Make sure you guys follow them on all social media platforms at Riding Legacy Film. Hopefully, whenever rodeo season starts, we can get out there and do a Wave Talk Hit the Streets type episode and get out there and see them, because if y'all haven't been to a rodeo, you're missing out. Oklahoma's black rodeo culture is the shit. So, no, for real, it really is. It's unmatched, and everybody be like, there's black people in Oklahoma? Be nice, okay? Before I go ahead and get out of here, of course, I like to leave you all with a little quote. And you already know where it's from. $5 if you guessed it correctly. Just kidding, I'm not paying you anything. But the quote is, there is no old self to get back to. There's only a new you to create and nurture. So often I hear people say, oh, just wait till I get back to the old me, or I miss the old me and I can't wait to get back to myself. Whole time, y'all, that's an older version of you that's been dispelled, and it's time for us to focus on the new and improved, or just the new versions of ourselves. There's no sense of trying to chase past versions of ourselves that either at the time apparently didn't suit us, because otherwise we'd still be there, you know what I'm saying? So shed that old skin and embrace the new skin. It's 2023. This is like the Jordan year. I feel success all around me. I think it's within everybody who I talk to. So yeah, shed that shit. It's Jordan year. But as always, I want to give a huge shout out to the home team. Shout out to New Wave or No Wave, NXW. Y'all can't really see it, but I got on like a little matching fit. Whole time I'm fly. Really be putting that shit on, okay? I like to give a shout out to Life Media 405, the production crew. Wouldn't be here without you. Make sure y'all follow us on all social media platforms at The Wave Talk Official, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We already talked about Twitter. It's a work in progress. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching another episode of The Wave Talk. See you next time. That's a wrap. Just kidding. That's a wrap.